Hey YouTubers, how many times have you heard me say I'm finally back to and then something? It's been a lot, I know. I'm finally back to finish up my review of the Mindshift Rotation 180 Horizon model. It's been a while coming, I know. I've been busy on the giveaway stuff, more about that later. I'm building a little website. It's mostly built, mostly tested. We're getting there. So in the past, I've done a couple of videos where I just basically whipped the bag out, showed it real quick, and then showed what I was carrying inside of it. And I didn't really get close to the bag at all or show you the features in detail, talk much about the bag itself and its accessories. So that's what this video is about. It's less about throwing cameras into it or pulling cameras out of it, and more just talking about the features of the bag. So it's a kind of a mid-sized bag. You can see just comparing it to me, it's not a huge bag. But it does have pretty good carrying capacity for a really long day hike, depending on how much camera gear you put into it. So first, let's just talk about the overall features of the bag. The materials, it's a real nice ripstop nylon. It's got some Cordura panels. It's just really well made. The harness is very well padded and pretty substantial because you can put quite a bit of weight into this bag and you're going to want that. So the harness works well. I've carried a decent amount of weight in this bag, around 20, maybe a little more than 20 pounds sometimes. Not on long hikes or anything, but through airports, on shorter hikes, that sort of thing. Carries it just fine. So the materials are really good, as is to be expected with a think tank / Mindshift product. So zero complaints there. Moving on, let's talk about the pockets that this bag offers. So on the top, we've got sort of a random stuff pocket. Turn the bag around a little bit. Right now, I've got the rain cover in. I can throw this think tank cable management bag in here, and it holds this stuff just fine. And there's room for more. So that's the top pocket. Then in the very front, we've got a fairly flat pocket you can stuff things into. Now it is flat, as I've said, like you can see my hand in here. You can put a laptop in here, but it's stuffed, and this is a little laptop. This is a little bitty 12-inch MacBook. This pocket's probably a little better for light jackets, magazines, maps, flat stuff, really. Then inside, we have the inner compartment, which isn't exactly a pocket. And you can see this is pretty voluminous. Hopefully you can get a feel for the size of this compartment. Now in here, there's a laptop pocket. And this little 12-inch MacBook fits in really easily, like it fits in really easily just about anywhere. Okay, other pockets. There's a side pocket. You can put a good sized water bottle in here. I have a pretty big Camelback bottle that fit in there just fine. You can also use this to attach a tripod. And on this side, there is a water bladder pocket that you could stuff whatever else you wanted in there. I should note that the rain cover is included with the bag, which is a nice inclusion. Okay, now let's talk about sort of the specialty of this bag, and that's the belt pack. The belt pack is integrated down here in the bottom of the bag, and it slides out on the right side, and there's a lock feature here that's magnetic, and you just sort of push that down, and then this panel flaps out. Once you've done that, if you have the bag on, you slide the belt pack out, and you can have it to the side, the front, whatever. There's a little leash in here that I have disconnected. It kind of keeps the two parts together. And then we have the actual belt pack itself. Now, one thing I want to point out about this, Mindshift has spent a lot of time on the design of this belt pack. This belt pack is asymmetrical. Hope you can see that. They put a lot of thought into it to make it so that it slides in and out of its little cubby hole here. The downside is this side is a little smaller than this side. The upside is this side's a little bigger than this side. Anyway, let's have a look inside. It's a little tough to get around the corners of these zippers. That's a pretty tight corner there, but in practice it hasn't been too bad. Now I have sort of minimally set up dividers in here. Here are all the dividers that are included. Not all of these go with the belt pack. I'm a genius and I mixed them all up. So some of these go with the insert, some go with the belt pack. But I know these went with the belt pack. And then if I were to pull these out, you'd see that these are actually asymmetrical to fit the shape of the bag. Inside of here we have a pocket. It's not big enough to hold something like this, but it's plenty big enough to hold a couple of batteries, a few cards, filters, that sort of stuff. And then up here, there's a slot in here for a tablet or instruction manuals or whatever is thin that you want to carry in there. I will spend just a short moment showing the size of camera that will fit into this belt pack. Now, unfortunately, all my digital cameras for doing video are making this video. So I'm going to have to use a film camera. And I'll just tell you now, this bag is really designed for micro four thirds or small full frame cameras. So I'm going to use this little Olympus as a stand-in for a micro four thirds camera. And I think you'll be able to see that that fits in there really easily. And then you have room on the sides to put lenses and whatever else. So yeah, the Olympus is really tiny. Let's put a larger camera in here. So we'll put this Nikon F in here. It's a bigger camera. It fits nicely. Let's put this Leica R8 in here. Uh-oh, no, not so much. That's because the lens is a little long with the lens hood on. If I take the lens hood off, it fits a Leica R8 pretty well. Now, if you start putting motor drives on and that sort of thing, you're going to run into the limits of this bag. So that's it for the belt pack. I'm going to slide it back into place. Now, this is one of the things about this bag is the belt pack, you got to get used to sliding it in and out of its holder. If you want to get at your gear while it's in the backpack, you're going to have to manipulate it out. This thing is really at its best running and gunning. When I was doing a hike down at Twin Lakes in Colorado, I had the fanny pack around to the front and it just worked perfectly. It was awesome as I was hiking along and wanting to switch lenses and so forth. But then when I got to a spot where I was going to use my tripod and sort of slow down, I sat the bag down. Oh crap, I got to pull the belt pack out. So that's kind of the trade-off there. It's not a bad thing. It's just something to know about when you choose a bag that has this feature. All right, let's move on from the main bag and the built-in belt pack and talk about the photo insert. This photo insert works with both the Horizon and the Panorama. The Panorama is a little smaller. And this is a nice addition. It slides right into the main compartment there. And it comes with dividers that sort of match the shape of the bag. This is pretty voluminous. I would like it a little better if they had made it custom to the Horizon. It could have been a little bigger because the Panorama is a little smaller, so the bag is small, so it fits there. But this will hold a good sized camera. We'll just throw a Hasselblad in here. So there's a Hasselblad that's got my 60mm on it. That fits perfectly well. Now to fit the Hasselblad and other lenses and so forth, I had to work with the dividers in here. But I was able to get a Hasselblad, a couple of lenses, and my big meter here, and some film and so forth when I took the bag out to Kentucky to do some photography. This bag is going to be a requirement if you want to shoot any long lenses because they're just not going to fit into the belt pack. This is a 400mm prime, and you can see how that fits in there. It fits in there perfectly well. This is a smaller lens because it doesn't have stabilization. It's roughly the size of a Canon 70-200 f4 IS. So if you have one of those, it'll fit. Okay, so you got the insert. You want to put it in the bag. You're probably curious about how much room is left. Good thing to be curious about. So here it is inside the bag. And you can see you've got about probably as much room again as you have in this top pocket in here. To sort of close down this review of the features, I'm going to talk about some extra stuff, that's sort of stuff you can hang off of the outside of the bag. First off, I've demonstrated in a prior video how you can attach your tripod. You can either put it over here, or you can drop this cup out of here and put the legs in there. So two tripod attachment points. There's a pair of daisy chains on the back here, so you can put some webbing in there if you wanted to. And there is an ice axe loop and a fastener up here. So you can figure out how to use that stuff. I don't really know. I don't have an ice axe. Okay, so that's it for this bag, except for I'm giving it away. So subscribe now if you haven't already. And within the next week or so, I'm going to announce the website that you'll go to. I'll do a video about this. The website you should go to, and sort of real high level instructions. The site itself has the instructions. It's going to be kind of a web scavenger hunt. You need to be a subscriber to participate, and I'm going to give this bag away. So stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.